Are there any other councillors' inquiries? Seeing none, we will then move, if someone will move us in camera. Oh, sorry, you had a question, Councillor Mahoney?
Well, it's on the in-camera. In light of the fact that we did receive a confidential, I'm assuming, confidential letter from one of the councillors yesterday indicating had some pretty hard-hitting comments in it, and indicating that that person was not interested, notwithstanding there was a request last week to do this review. It's a personnel matter. I don't know how much I can say, but in open council, but I think it's important that we perhaps try and understand how many people had intended on attending the in-camera.
Can I get a show of hands how many members of council will be attending the in-camera today? Personnel matter.
Will we have quorum? Apparently not.
Obviously we won't have quorum.
This letter has some comments that I think need to be addressed as a whole council, as well as a letter that we received late last week from the same councillor. I think it's about time we hash this out, stop playing the games that we're playing and sending confidential memos. So I'd like some comments from my colleagues how we're going to deal with this. We seem to be in a bit of a flux at this point on this council. There are things going on that some of us are aware of, some are not. And let's get to the bottom of it. What does this council, or what do some members of this council, what is their ultimate aim and where are they trying to go? I've had enough. I really have. I'm playing a lot of games around here and somehow nobody's passing me the ball.
Well, Councillor Mahoney, the item is an item on today's agenda, and we've had no indication of members other than Councillor McFadden that had to leave for and one other member of council that they would be leaving early, so it was my assumption that we would have quorum to continue the rest of the meeting. But I think that's a good point. Could I see another show of hands of who will not be attending or is not available to continue the rest of the general committee meeting, which includes the in-camera?
Parrish, Carlson.
I see 2 members, or 3. Councillor Adams, you are leaving as well. That then will make us lose quorum, and we will not be able to continue with general committee. Therefore,
Madam Chair, this item be referred to the council.
I think that's appropriate. And if members of council are going to be
that doesn't mean that these
not
people
present, generally it is appropriate to inform the clerk that they will not be attending a portion of the meeting, so that we know if we're going to lose quorum or not. This is one item that's on today's agenda, and we were aware of it, but I only had one, as the chair, I only had communication from, 2 members of council.
Madam Acting Chair, also on that matter then, since I know a lot of work and effort has gone into putting this document in place today, but there seems to be very little interest in pursuing it. I was the one who introduced the idea, so I will be the one to remove it from further this particular document and further discussion. Obviously, this is a bigger issue with some members. I can't tell you who, and it's a bigger issue than what I suggested we discuss today. So I think we need to sit down as a council and take the time and hash things out a little bit. There are things going on, as I've indicated, that just we all need to discuss. Apparently, because again, I'm out of the loop. Nobody sends me emails.
Well, I think
all the answers send you some.
The item is on today's agenda.
Well, I've just moved that it be removed.
You have moved then that the in-camera item be permanently removed from the council agenda.
Until next year.
Okay.
When at the appropriate time.
I'm going to deal with that motion then. Is that appropriate, Madam Clerk? Sorry, Madam Mayor, did you wish to clarify clarification?
What item are we dealing with? Are you dealing with the
There's a personnel item.
With the email we all got yesterday?
No, Madam Mayor, Councillor Mahoney has moved that the item that is on the agenda today,
council, because I just would like to distribute to you the fact that the city manager has made an attempt to talk to council. Some people refuse to talk to her. They don't wish to meet with her, so.
Well, Madam Mayor, I think we're getting into the in-camera discussion at this point in time, so I would suggest that we deal with
what
the
you're
motion.
moving is the PMP,
The personnel matter,
off the agenda.
the personnel matter be removed from the agenda.
Okay.
All in favor of, sorry, Councillor Mullen, you wish to comment on the
Yeah.
Yes,
motion?
I want to be clear. My preference would be that this be moved to next week's council meeting when we have all of the councillors here. We will then possibly have quorum. It was suggested, I believe this is part of our responsibility as the members of council. So I think that, I understand where Councillor Mahoney is coming from, but it would seem to me that we should deal with it at the next council meeting in camera. And for those who wish to stay, they wish to stay. If not, this is our responsibility. And I think it's a responsibility not only that we deal with as a whole, but taking the opportunity as well, as some of us have done, to meet with the city manager on a one-to-one. So I would prefer if you would agree that if we move to council, I believe we will have quorum. And I think for the respect that we owe the city manager, but also from a procedural perspective, I believe that this is our responsibility. So that would be my motion, if in fact Councillor Mahoney's fails.
Councillor Mahoney, do you wish to leave your motion of removal on or referral to council?
I must say I'm conflicted on that. I mean, most of us did take the time to sit down with the city manager. Most of us did take the time when it was appropriate and when the request was made to review the document and give our comments and feedback. Some of us did not. So that process was followed by some members of council at the appropriate time. There will be an opportunity next year at the same time to go through the same process. I will defer Councillor Mullen, a considerate of friendly memo, but I think it's a little unfortunate that people are left out there swinging a little bit, not knowing what the outcome is. Either deal with it or don't deal with it. Let's defer it.
I guess just to respond, and the reason why I'm pursuing it is that given some of the concerns or issues or maybe questions that need to be asked, I can hear from everybody as to what those questions are, what those concerns are. So that's why I think it's appropriate to have it as a full council discussion, because then I can hear what other people's concerns are or hear their questions. That was the only reason why I still believe it should be dealt with next.
Well, I'll go along with that. I mean, I don't believe that there'll be quorum at that time. I hope there is.
And I guess that's a choice people make.
Well, I think we're paid to be there.
Yeah. Okay, so Councillor Mahoney, you're withdrawing your motion. Is that correct?
No,
well, I need to know that I'm not running. There's not a friendly amendment, it's a contrary motion.
Contrary, well, I'll
Referral is contrary to taking it off the agenda. So it's referred to council. Okay, so that is what is on the table right now. Correct, Councillor Mahoney? I want to be clear. Okay, thank you. Councillor Prentice, you're speaking to the referral only.
Yes, and I will support the referral. I would just like to make a note that this information was circulated to all members of council a number of months ago with a procedure to follow if there were any issues or there were any questions. My understanding was that there were no members of council that responded to it. So I think that needs to be on the record.
Thank you. I will take the motion of referral. All in favor of referring it to council? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That carries. Thank you. I have no other items on the agenda. Would someone move adjournment? Thank you. Staff, and if
I'd have to know what's on that pink sheet,
is back. If